Hello guys, it's Paula. I'm back this evening to start the, I'm going to call it Like a Rainbow series. And we will be doing this randomly. And I kind of want to try to have it done by summer, because I want us to actually make an album for these pages. Now they'll have every color of the rainbow except black. Of course, black and brown are not in the rainbow, but I mean of the crayons. Except we're going to add pink. So, and we're not going to worry about it being in order or anything like that. We might put them in order in the book, but we're going to do the pages first. Now, just so you know, I don't know what all's involved in this. I've not ever done it. So, I'm going to do my own thing and see what happens. So, I saw this done on YouTube by someone named Israel or something like that. So, let's get started. Well, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to have ours be an 8 by 10, which is the size of this dictionary paper. Now, I picked out every color. Right here is blue. It's not going to matter because you can't see it anyway. But in my head, I could see it. Now, you will see the letters through the paper. Now, I'm going to tell you, we are going to do a form of decoupage, only we're going to do it with the glue. This glue is Yoo-Hoo, I believe is what it's called, Magic Blue. It dries clear. You want to get around the edges really, really well. We're going to do this side first, and then we'll do the reverse side. Now, whoa, don't tear your paper. Can't get too violent because it will tear. It's old vintage paper. And I put my gloves on because my hands are so dry, and I need to get over and get a manicure. I've been doing it myself, but I'm not very good at it anymore because I don't have the coordination in my hands. I'm surprised I can even do art because my coordination is not what it used to be. So I hope you guys had a good day. We had freezing drizzle today, so I think there was several accidents on some of the expressways, bridges, and overpasses. So Charlie has a little cold right now. He didn't go to school today. So his eyes are red and he's just all a little sickly thing. This is making noise. I'm sorry. I'm trying to do it pretty quick. Now I'm going to use some tissue, and this is the only time I'll probably use tissue that has a particular name. This is Jane Davenport tissue. It's mixed media type tissue. Now we're going to pick a color every time. This time our color is going to be blue. And like I said, there's not going to be any order. It's just the first one that came to my mind. So we're going to take this, and this is going to be the front of our page. And so you want to line it up the best you can. And try not to get, a bunch of wrinkles. I did take all the layers off of the tissue, so you just get Scotch tape to do that. And you got to be quick. Apparently, I'm not quick enough. This is like all blobby, so I'm going to try to straighten it out a little bit. Let's see if I can do it without tearing it. I say to you, be quick. You can use, I guess you could use Mod Podge, but I thought this would dry faster and we can move on to the next. I got my heat gun out just in case, but you want to try to make it as smooth as you can. Yeah, I just think for the project we're doing, it might look better. Now, by the time we get everything on here, this should be, look how fun. And you can see the words through it. So let's see, we need to get this corner down up here. I don't want any corners not sticking. And that's the nice thing about using the glue sticks. Listen, I told my husband to order me some Yoo-hoo. I just wanted him to, I wanted to try it. Gail swears by it. And I really, none of the stores sell anything strong enough to do anything. But, yeah, so it comes in the mail, and he bought a whole case. Like, I think it's got like 12 in it or something. I was like, oh, honey, what if I don't like it? He said, we got grandkids. We'll just pass it on. He cracks me up. He is so good to do. I mean, if I ask for one thing, I get 10 or 12. So he's just like that. He likes to buy where you get the better deal. Okay, I just tore a little bit of that. I probably shouldn't keep messing with it, but I couldn't get it to lie down. So we're going to just pull a piece from right here at the bottom. I hope you guys can see. I'm trying to stay in video, in camera, I mean, and it's not all that easy. So we're just going to go like this and cover that up. There's not a wrong way. Well, I say there's not a wrong way. Who knows? I don't know. I think the reason I decided not to do the Mod Podge was because I didn't want it to have a rubbery feel for this particular project. Okay, so I'm going to flip that over. I think it's good enough. We're going to start on this side, and I think what we'll do is get that sucker coming out faster. I don't know that that's possible, but so our next step after this is sewing on a pocket. I think I want to do a pocket down at the bottom, across the whole bottom. So you know it'll be 2 different pages in the book. You know how the pages all split out. So that way, if we have the pocket, it will. I'm sticking to it. I'm drowning in Yoo-hoo. I'm trying to get where you guys can all see. Please forgive me if you can't. I took my glass mat out for this because I just thought I can't handle the glaring while I'm trying to do this. I can turn that off. My husband said, turn it off, you don't even need it. But I like to be able to see in my camera. So, or in my lens to my camera on my phone. So I think we got it all. It's hard to tell, honestly, because it turns clear so fast. So I'm going to get napkin number 2. These are drink napkins. So I'm trying to see what will be the best part. So this is going to be the base of the pages. Now, the reason this is going to take more than one part is because we'll make some embellishments for the pocket, and that way when we get all of the, I'm not worrying about it if it has some wrinkles in it. That just gives it a little bit of something something. Anyway, you do want to get around the edges as best you can. Okay, I've got gloves on because I'm going to be using some different kinds of sprays. And I don't want, it's sticking. Oh my goodness, I should never have put it on here. Look at this. It's not bad, but we can fix it. I'm going to throw this away. Sorry for that loud pop. So we're just going to replace that section up there. And forget that I wasn't thinking at all. Have you guys ever done something stupid like that? You know, I'm good at doing stupid stuff. I think that's the only two places that I have to put something on is right up here. I think it, and honestly, I think it was because it was already kind of torn there. I'm going to go ahead and trim this off and use this tissue rather than using a whole another sheet. I'll clean the edge up in just a minute. Let's get some of this down. Gonna kind of change the print a little bit, so it won't be as perfect as I would have liked it to be, but that's all right. That's the fun about art. You can do whatever you want, except that you need to lay the paper down before you put the glue on, and then you got to be quick. There you go. Okay, I think I'll go over this real fast to make sure it stays down. I think we have that part done. The lower part's going to be covered with everything sticking to me, guys. I'm going to throw these little pieces that's not big enough to do anything out of our way. I was first going to do I was going to use fabric for the pocket. And then while I was digging, I found some really cool. So basically, you're supposed to just use all blue stuff. I didn't explain that, I don't think. But if you have a splash of green or yellow or something like that, you want the main thing to be, the dominant color would be, this right here is not having very much fun. Keeps coming off. I just need to keep my sticky glove away from there. I put the glove on because when we start doing the sprays, I get them everywhere, all over me. And so I didn't want to have to deal with that. Okay, so you just want to trim all the edges. And you never know about me. I may get frustrated with the glue gun and, you know, I'm going to put tissue on different ones. I'm not going to put it on every single one. But I like having the tissue as a background. You can use cardstock, you can use anything you want. Tissue paper, not necessarily cards like, you know, like some of Tim Holtz stuff. You could put cardstock, I guess, but I don't want it to have that heavy page look, you know. I'd rather it be crunchier and noisy. Now, the next thing we're going to do, we're not putting this in the spray, okay? We might use this side for the front. We'll just have to see. I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm putting glue on it and swiping away, and then I am touching it. So don't touch it once you put the glue on the edges. I want to make sure all my edges are down because I want it to I don't want it to separate. I don't know if it will or not. But, because I've never used a glue gun. I've never used glue stick on tissue before. So, I'm not sure what it will end up doing. Okay, so this is going to be fun. At the end, we are going to make a journal to put this in. These pages in. And the journal is going to be as colorful as the pages. Okay, so, lift it up. It's sticking to the table. There we go. Now, I'm going to set this aside for a minute, but first I'm going to show you the material for the pockets. I'm trying to decide. This looks like it has more color than this side. It's hard to tell, but this is the side that I've pretty much treated bad. Let me see which side looks the best. We could cover this messed up area with the pocket maybe. Now, you don't use the same blue throughout, you just use blues. And so, I had the fabric I thought we could do as a pocket, or we can do this ribbon as a pocket. But the thing is this has wire on it, which is going to be fine because it'll just make it sturdier. If I had done the fabric, I was going to sew this on. I don't like it up against this, and it needs this to reinforce it. So we're going to go with the fabric. I've made a decision. And then I thought we could put, after we put the fabric on here, of course I'll hem it under and press it and stuff. I'll sew it and then we'll bring it back on to part 2. Okay, so I'm only putting a pocket on one side. I'm trying to remember which side I had decided on. Okay, this is the one we're going to put the pocket on. I kind of like the fray, but the fray is not going to show at the top because we're going to put a band up there. I would let everything kind of hang off, you know. And in the meantime, what we're going to do is we're going to cut that first of all. Okay. And it's not straight, just FYI. You want your tissue to be dry before you do this because it's already sticking. But yes, and then I'm just going to fold this under. No, I won't have to because look what we're going to do. We're going to put this strip on here. Now, I've got the fabric down a little bit, but we're going to put the strip on here, but we need to put some lace over it. Now, you can use, in this project, I have decided we can use any, either off-white or white lace, but see, it's going to end up looking blue because the band will show through it. So this is how we're going to do the pocket right here. It's going to look like this, only not this tall. And then we're going to spray on a music sheet each time and a copy sheet each time at least. If we need more, we'll do more. So, okay. And believe it or not, this is going to go faster than we would realize. Okay, so those are ready. The lace and all of that's ready. So I'm going to put the glue cap back on, get it out of the way, and I'm going to bring over the box to spray. I'm going to lay this right over here out of the way to dry. I don't know about anybody else, but my mouth is super dry. Just seems like lately, you know. I'm going to start shaking these things. We've got 3 different blues. I'm going to open this one's not even been open, but it's old, you know, because I got it at Tuesday morning, and I did have some other that I bought at Tuesday morning not be any good, but I don't like to pay full price, so I take my chances. these have been sitting on the shelf for a while, so some of them have those little balls inside, you know, the little metal balls or whatever they're called. I know this is blue, but it has a lot of gold in the bottom. So I'm trying to get that down into the actual spray. Now, I have a stencil. If you notice right here, I have a stencil. So we're going to put the music sheet down there first. Let's do this side first. I think it's going to seep through, so we don't really have to worry about it. And I don't think there's any particular order. We just mainly want to make sure we get everything into the stencil. You know, as straight as you can, I guess. Now, we will really saturate this. And so I'm thinking, I'm not sure about this, but boy, it's loaded with that shiny stuff. I bet that'll make it look good. Let's try the Heidi Swap first. Half the time hers don't work. That's probably why they quit making them. People probably got sick of it. But we're going to try it and see. So I'm going to move this over into camera real good so you can see. I like it better here. But see, it's wanting to glare on our stencil. That's all right. All right, so it's a pretty blue, isn't it? Okay. So now we're going to spray. I don't know if they're the same blue. They're real close, it looks like. Yeah. I really wanted some different blues. But I'll tell you, I didn't want to buy for this. The only thing I don't have is yellow and orange. And so, but yellow and green make, see, isn't it yellow and green that make orange? I don't know. But it doesn't matter. I'll come up with something. If I can go, I'll go to Tuesday morning and see what they have. Now, this looks blue, and we're fixing to find out if it is. It is. It's a different blue. You want to you want to get your page really well in order to get the stenciled image on there. Yeah, this just has a lot of glisten to it, I think. And the same with these others. Some of them are and some of them aren't. This particular shimmers is not shiny. Okay, so we can set those aside for a minute. Now, what we're going to do while this is still wet is we're going to take our copy sheet and we're going to lay it right over. And basically, see how it's going through? Basically, what it's going to do is it will bleed, the stencil will bleed through. I've got some paper on the floor behind me to put this, but here's the front. Woo, it's pretty. You know, I'm thinking we need to make a couple, but that already took up the stencil color. So, let me think. Was there something else I wanted to color? Yes, I want to color a couple of these old Grimm's Fairy Tales pages because I want to make pockets, side tucks for the other side. So we're going to do, I don't know if this is going to, we're going to have to lift our other paper out first. Woo, looky there. Pretty music. Look at that. Wow. Now, the other side is not, it's bleeding through. It's not perfect, but we don't want it to be perfect. We want it to be different. So, that's our music sheet. We're not going to do the one that has the tissue on it, but I do want to do this, a couple of these, so we can make some side pockets. I'm trying to find one of these little story pages that don't have pictures on it. Okay, now we're going to lay this over again, and we're just going to repeat what we just did. Okay. Always shake before you spray. And now, I like this darker one, is my favorite out of all of them. Okay. Ooh, it's trying to plug up on me. I think we got the majority of that. That's the thing. You invest your money in this stuff and then it doesn't. I mean, they plug up. I mean, I clean mine faithfully. Like, I'll use a wipey on them. And I wipe them off with a towel, and then I'll wipe them off with a wipey. So we want some shine. So that's what we're fixing to get, is some shine. It's not as blue, and I think it's because there's yellow underneath the page. So I'm going to do some more of this. Heidi Swap is the bluest, since it's the only thing we need blue for right now. So I'm going to lay out another parchment paper to put these on. I think I got the old one here. Well, it's not going to hold much because it's just a little bitty piece. But they, you know, it doesn't take them long to dry. So we shouldn't have any problem getting them dry. Sorry guys, I'm over here bending over on the floor trying to get... I'm going to do another copy sheet while we're up here, just in case we need it, since we had to spray twice, you know. I just think that will give us another sheet of paper. And we'll use a different stencil each time too. And that'll make it fun. And this just is really a blob, picking up the blobs of ink. Ooh. Oh, I love it. Okay. Now we'll get the other up. I don't think I have room for both of them though. Okay, I'm going to set this somewhere. Didn't think about this. You know what? We're going to put it back in the box and let it dry a little bit, and then I'll wipe it off at some point. Oh, here you go. I want you to see. Those are going to be our pockets after I finish dropping them everywhere. Okay. Now, we'll let those dry. I'm going to take my gloves off because they're driving me crazy. Alright, so I will clean those in a minute. But this is dry also. So it's got that nice wrinkled look. And let me close this for a minute while we're working on the next part. Now, I'm going to move these papers out of the way. Put them back in my box, my little box. Now, we will do, oh, I don't want that under there. You'd think I'd learn my lesson, wouldn't you? We're going to glue, well, not glue, we're going to stitch. Now, we're going to use, I've got dark brown in my machine right now, and I think I want a contrasting color. I mean, black would be ideal, but I think I'm going to use brown so it's not so dark. Okay, I want to press this fabric. I should have had that pressed ahead of time. But we're going to put it on here, if I find the right side, just like this. And we may decide this is too tall, but I don't know. We could fold it under. Let's fold it under, and I'll press it under with the machine. And Although really, we shouldn't even have to press it. How's that? And then we'll stitch it. Oh, before we do that though, we don't want to stitch it on there. We want to fold this part under. We'll press it with our fingers. We'll do finger pressing. I'm not going to iron all of these. I think the wrinkles will eventually fall out. And if I feel like it needs to be ironed, I will iron it. So, and we're going to use this as our trim. And you want to just hide the folded over section. And we can trim off the excess. And this is how it's going to look on here. Okay. Going to have the blue lined up straight. As you notice, I'm not measuring. The only thing I wanted was the paper to be 8 by 10. You could do 8.5 by 10 or 8.5 by 11 if you wanted to. You can do any size you want. You just have to remember that you want to make some things to put inside the pockets. Yeah, I don't like the way that one's popping up. So, okay. So there is how it's going to look on here with this and the lace. That's the front side. The back side's going to look different. It's going to have, when that paper dries, we're going to make pockets for this side and do it like tucks, okay? And then we'll proceed to make our, let me stitch real fast. Let me stitch this this one strip across here so we can see how dark it's going to be, because we're going to hide that anyway. And I'm going to do it, I'll do it in a zigzag. I had filled my bobbin today, and so I was working on something that definitely required brown. So after this page is done, we're going to continue on and we're going to do an Easter book. I found those really cute Easter books and I want to do those. So here I go. I'm going to stitch this fabric under, and I guess I should put it on zigzag. Okay. Now, here we go. I'm trying to do it quick so you guys don't have to sit and wait. I just want to make sure it's somewhat straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm not going to stitch the fabric on tonight. I'm going to let everything dry really well because I don't want to ruin my machine for one thing. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I like the brown. I think it's going to be fine. I'm not going to tie off those because my fabric is a little bit longer. So I just did this to be a sample to show us what it's going to look like. I'll trim it up to be perfectly even on the, and I think I'm going to leave this little bit of fringe at the bottom. Make sure you guys can see. I'm going to leave this little bit of fringe at the bottom. So when we have this all ready, and I have the corner pieces made, we're going to put this on here, and we're going to glue the lace on because it's going to be too many layers to hang on to. So we're just going to put it even with where I tucked it under. You don't want a bunch of frayed stuff in your pocket. Okay, so this is where we're at so far. Now, I'm going to do the sewing separate, but if that Grimm's storybook dries, we'll go ahead and fold it. I just don't want to fold it sooner than it will be dry. So now I'm thinking tags. We need to make some tags. I'm thinking, I really like this. I want to do something with this. So I'm going to get a couple tags. I think we can have 2 different sizes with kind of a white background. Okay. And see if I have some smaller ones. And I think we need to make something to put them on that's blue as well. I'm thinking. I'm going to get a card, a plain card. And again, I'm just coming up with this in my head. You know, I don't know how it's going to end up. Oh, I moved my playing cards because they were taking over all my stuff. Let me grab one. If I can find them. That's the sad part. You put stuff away and then you can't find it. Okay, there they are. Let me get a couple. In case we mess up on the first one. So I'm thinking, these are white, but they need to be blue, right? So I'm thinking, why not put them in the box and spray them with, I don't really want them to be, we could use this fabric, but then it's going to be close to the fabric when we put it in the pocket. So we need a different, I like a different print. And this is not, I mean, it's not really wide enough. I mean, we could fold this under and just do it like a stripe on the front of the card, like this. And then, but first we could spray it. So let's spray it and see what happens. We'll just spray one, and that way we still have, you know, plenty. Here we go again. There's going to be spraying involved in all of these videos at some point. Because it's kind of a mixed media kind of thing. So we're going to put the cards in first. We'll just put them both in. We've got more cards if we need them. Because I want to make, I'm going to take these cards and we're going to make whatever we need to make out of them. And we're going to lay them over like this. I'm fixing to get blue on me. They might overlap a little. We'll just see. It's okay. I hope you guys like this. I think when you see the final result, I think you'll like it. Now, I'm not going to do multiple colors. I'm just going to do that darkest one. And the reason is I was thinking when it's all said and done, we can sprinkle with white or whatever. And I'm going to go ahead and grab another piece of paper because we got to mop it up. Let's see how much we got on there this time. See, it's not near as dark. There we go. Okay, here we go. Let's lift it out. I like the light color of that. And you can see the glitter from the, what is it called? Tattered Mist or Shimmer Mist from Tattered Angels. I think I'm going to see, let me see what the other side looks like. I was going to say, I think I'm going to put that back down. No, I like that. I like the fact that it's lighter than the rest. Now, probably what I'll end up doing is, let me lift this up, pull these out, is we'll end up putting like, we'll splatter with some color. And we might splatter with a really strong blue, or we'll just have to see, but that'll be fun. Okay, so we're going to put those there. I'm trying to get all the splattering stuff done and kind of the ideas in the back of my head that we could do as far as tags and stuff. I'm going to put more than just these 2 tags. I think we need multiple. And let me get some small ones. I'll get a couple small ones. Okay, there's a small one. How about a circle? Let's do a circle one. That'd be different. Okay, now we're going to spray one more time, and then we're going to lay them out to dry and let them dry overnight. This is going to be, what did I call it? Was it Let's Make a Rainbow? Was that it? Sounds good to me. I'm not that picky. So let's try a different blue. Let's try the shimmery mist one. It's not a beautiful blue, but we'll put it on, let's put it on this one. It's kind of a blue jean color. Well, we'll put it on all of them. And then we'll come back and put a darker one, the other dark one on. Okay. I'm just going to drag another piece of paper through here. We're going to have a bunch of them, but you know, it'll allow us to have stuff to make. Okay. These are really light, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just flip it over. Ooh, that's a different blue. I like that. So now I think what we'll do, let me show you what we're going to do. Instead of doing what I just said, let's try opening this up and just splattering with it and see what we end up with. It is darker, but it doesn't splatter that great. That's the only thing I don't like about them. It takes a lot of work. See, it's not even coming out of there. I've seen people do this and have great success. I guess you got to do it enough to get the swing or the hang of it. I mean, it's not even doing anything. Well, we're going to try a different one because that one is not cooperating. I think it's that wiggly thing that comes from it. See if I can get the lid off. Yeah, there we go. Now, I used to splatter. Yeah, see, this is better. You get a thicker, richer color. This one on the end, just, I can't seem to get it to get covered. A lot of them are also getting on the stencil itself. Well, that just went clear off to the side. Every now and then you can cheat and put one on there if you want, because they takes forever to get it to cover these. But there we go. We're getting it. Getting the hang of it now. I don't know what I did different, but I'm getting my finger to peck on here just the right way. Because that blue was the other blue was so light, you can really see the shiny gold in it's got gold in it, which is fine. I mean, We can have glitter if we want, or glittery looking. Let me get a little more on this middle one. It feels like that they just keep going to the... I don't want to bore you to death. So, this is the last part of this video, and we'll finish it up, finish this page up. I'll have stuff out for us to do tags and some things for the pocket. I mean, we can make anything we want for those pockets. And that'll look good. I'm really trying to do it heavy on here. Like this one in the middle is not getting much on the actual tag. And I'm going to let this set in here and dry a little bit before I separate it from the stencil. And yeah. So there we go. We're going to let that be. I will mop it up. I think I do need to mop it up. Yeah. Oh, good grief. I'm trying to put the lids on. Sorry, ladies. And any man that might be out there. All right. Kind of wiping up the splatter. Okay, so I'm going to take this, I'll just take another piece of paper. What the heck? It's probably just going to be polka dots. See, we will use some of these papers, the ones that turn out really nice. We will use them in the book. We'll do a signature that is... Look at those cute little polka dots. Now, we could add every night or every color to this. We're not going to be doing this every night. So we're going to start working on a, let's lift this off and see what we got. We're going to start working on a Easter book. Oh, how cute. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And then we've got, let me lay that on a towel. The big one, which actually has a gold reinforcer in it. I like the way these turned out. Now, I think we'll need to ink with some blue rather than inking with other colors. That one kind of is blobby, but that's all right. And then we have our circle. Yeah. Yay! I like the way these turned out, guys. I hope you did. So, I'm going to sign off now, and the next time I see you, we'll make some tags or little books or whatever we want to make to put in the 4 pockets. 2 tucks, 2 pockets. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please do. This is going to be fun, and this is day 1 of this particular project, or part 1. And so we'll see where we go from here. Love you guys. Bye.